you ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Listen, do people, thank you, Abby. I was just going to talk. This is Abby, who watches us from the UK. And cabbage is kind of gross, Abby. Do you like it? Do you celebrate St. Patrick's Day in the UK? I don't know. That's why I'm asking. Well, happy St. Patrick's Day. Look, I have corned beef too. I don't know if I like corned beef really. Do you like corn? This is like fancy corned beef from Fairway Market in Fort Lee, New Jersey, which costs like cooked a lot. And I bought the fancy one because I thought maybe I would like it more. Not really. And maybe me saying that they'll give me a gift card. Look, not particularly. I'm part Irish and it's all gross. Well, then you're my people, Abby. I like. Hi, Alessandra. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Roundtable. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, look, corned beef has failed the taste tests. But I'm happy you're here. You taste a lot better and you're a lot sweeter than a bunch of corned beef. Well, Welcome. We have a big show for you tonight. I'm warning you, Abby, you're not going to make it till the end of the show. It's long and you're in the UK and it's late. The show is going to be long. We have 3 giant guests. Dublin cobbler and coca. I don't know what that all tastes like, Alessandra. But come on now, tell me. It's probably better than corned beef. Melissa Errico is here, who doesn't like corned beef, just saw in San Francisco. Brenda K Starr and Robin S are here. So we have Broadway royalty and Ellen Semino, who is I call her my Aunt Ellen. My Aunt Ellen, how about this? Melissa Errico's father was her surgeon. Melissa Errico's father is an orthopedic surgeon. So that is interesting. So if you can't make it to the end of the show, Abby, you can catch us on YouTube where most people watch the show after the fact. But I love when you're here live because you can interact and we could chat and talk. This week we have a great show. Last week we had such a fun show. Last week we had Candy Milo. We surprised her with Michael Orland and her daughter, Gabby. And then we had Laura Bell Bundy, whose show is next week. Speaking of Green Room 42, thank you, Christine. I appreciate you. Speaking of Green Room 42, tonight's guest, Melissa Errico, has a show there on Tuesday. So Melissa Errico is there on Tuesday, and then I just so happen to be there on April 16th. So this is not the shameless plug portion of the show, but it's become it. So come see me. I was telling everyone in the pre-show, before the show, that I have anxiety that no one's going to come. That's normal, right? If you were doing a show, you'd be worried that no one was going to come too. But I know people are going to come, and it's a really fun show. You can get your tickets. Go to robertbannon.com. And if you're not from this area and you're not close to New York, you can see it all online. It's virtual as well. So how about that? Just shameless promotion. And we haven't even gotten to that part of the show. But it's a new show because it's called Rewind, because I'm doing the songs that I loved growing up. So it's more than just my album, which is also, we can talk about, called Unfinished Business, which is streaming everywhere. So you can check it out and you can see all of this fun stuff at robertbannon.com. So thank you. Look, I did shameless plug and I didn't even mean to. So catch me and I'll be around and we'll be talking about it for weeks to come. So thank you. Let's see. Alessandra it's a sausage and onion with Guinness beer, mashed potatoes with green onions. That actually sounds better than whatever this is. I love it. And Abby, you're coming to New York? Abby Thompson is coming to New York? You're coming here? And you're leaving the day I do my show. Man, Abby. Alessandra, I would love to be in North Carolina. Don't be surprised. We're booking dates and doing stuff all the time. So we'll be all around. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all so much. Melissa Errico is waiting, as well as Brenda K Starr. And then we have Robin S. So it's a big show of divas. this week, and I'm really excited. My mom called me before the show to remind you that if you would like to support the show, you can Venmo at R Bannon. My picture is like a heart. It's like a red heart. I probably should change it, but who has time? So you can Venmo me, and the money is used to build the show and promote the show, because the more promoting of the show that we do and the more views we get on the show, then the better the guests. And I don't use any of the money for myself. I promise. Yes, Abby is indeed coming. She is coming from Atlanta to Huntsville to New York City. Abby, you're flying from the UK to Atlanta because Atlanta is the most popular airport in the United States now. It's like the hub of everything. No idea why. And you're coming. Are you coming to see a show? Are you coming to see a show? Are you coming to a Broadway show? I hope you are. Yeah, my mom. She makes sure that she hustles for the little show that I can. No one is gonna mess with her her son. Next week, before we get Melissa out here, next week I'm super excited because next week, fashion designer extraordinaire, cabaret superstar, and TV personality Isaac Mizrahi will be here, as well as star of HBO's The Flight Attendant and Dear White People, and just all around one of the most dear people in my entire life, one of my favorite people and bestest of friends. Griffin Matthews will be here too. So you're not going to want to miss Isaac Mizrahi and Griffin Matthews. You want to know what's coming up besides them? Well, all you had to do was ask, and I'll tell you. Coming soon, we have Chaz Palminteri, which is huge. We have Anna Maria Horsford, who's been on everything from Amen to the Friday to the Wayans Brothers to Pose. She's going to be here. Justin Guarini from the first season of American Idol. We have a Fresh Prince reunion with Daphne Maxwell Reid, who played the second Aunt Viv, and Will Smith's mom in the show, Bernie Watson. And then Tom Chapin, Harry Chapin's brother and a Grammy-winning superstar. Tom Chapin will be here, plus a whole bunch of other surprises that I have coming up. And I've gotten some guest suggestions that are great, and I can't wait to do all of these shows in the future. So I'm excited. Tops. We're trying, Abby. We're trying. Yes, Janelle. That's good stuff, right? Are those good shows? Lots of lattes? Good? Yeah, don't miss it. I'm excited. I'm so nervous. Yes, so we'll be here, and and we just made a deal. And I know Abby likes Bianca Del Rio, which is how she found the show. We made a deal with Drag Race to have some. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Well, if you like this season, stay tuned. All right, let's do my weekend review because I'm already running late. I told you the show was going to be too long. Here, take a peek at this. So this week was kind of chill. I didn't actually do too much. I had my 100th Pilates class. Is that exciting? Does anyone care? I love Pilates, and I hate Club Pilates in Fort Lee, New Jersey. I love Club Pilates because I have bad knees. I lost the cartilage in my knees and from running. So Club Pilates has been my new home. I celebrated my 100th class. Go team. And on Tuesday, I was there as they rechristened and started the project to renovate the Bergen Performing Arts Center, which is in Englewood, New Jersey. It's where I started in the box office. It was my first job at 16 years old. And my quarantine cabaret and cocktails guest, Darlene Love, happened to be there. And she's been on, and I haven't seen her in a minute. It was so good to see her. So expect to see her soon here. And she popped on, actually, and look, hi Mom. There's my mom. See, I told you she was going to make sure I Venmo'd. And thank you, Abby. I appreciate it. We're actually at like 100 and change. We've been working at it. Darlene shows up and gives a speech about how important the Bergen Performing Arts Center is. Isn't she beautiful? She's 80. She's 80 years old. 80 years old. And look what she did. Take a peek at this.
Because I'm free, for his eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches me.
That's 80. You know, it's growing on me, the corned beef. She's 80. 80 years old. She's an icon. I adore her. All right, you know who else I adore? I adore Melissa Errico. And she is you and me both, Janelle. She's lots of lattes if you follow the early show. We go on Instagram Live, Abby, and everyone before at 6:30 my time. So, yeah. And thank you, Alessandra. I will try it with yellow mustard. I'm roaring to go today because I've amped myself up because we have too many guests today. I have a lot of coffee and a lot of Diet Coke ready to go. Take a peek. Melissa Errico has been patiently waiting as I've rambled on for 10 minutes. I just want to say thank you, everybody, for the love and support of the show, your views last week, sharing the show. Make sure to check out robertbannon.com for upcoming tour dates and get your tickets and come see me in person. And we could be friends in real life. Not that if we are not meet in person, you can't be my friend. You're like family. I love spending my days with you. All right. She's a superstar. She's a Tony nominee. And she's here. And she's on the road. She is a touring like rock star. She's Melissa Errico. Take a peek, and we'll be back after you take a listen to this gorgeous voice.
Thoughts of you arise with every breath I take. No one's gonna hurt you, no one's gonna dare. Others can desert you, not to worry, whistle, I'll be there. But why watch me die like a lion on the ice? But perhaps I'll collapse in the apse right before you all. So take back the cake, burn the shoes, and boil the rice. Look, I didn't want to have to tell you, but I may be coming down with hepatitis, and I think I'm gonna faint. So if you want to see me faint, I'll do it happily. But wouldn't it be funnier to go and watch a funeral? Thank you for the 27 dinner plates and 37 butter knives and 47 paper plates and 57 candle holders. I am not getting married. See, I'm not getting married. Still, I'm not getting married. I am not getting married. Let us pray that I'm not getting married today. Amen.
All right, listen. She is a Broadway superstar. She's a recording superstar. And more so, this little trashy Jersey show, she went to Yale, and she's like written for the New York Times. So like we have to like class it up here. Ladies and gentlemen, Melissa Errico is here.
Class it up. All right, guys, class it up. Ask me some questions, me smarty pants.
Well, I'm going to ask you some sort of sociology, something deep, meaningful, world.
Well, no. I was an art history major. My classes were like art, love, and beauty, or like the history of nudity.
How great is that?
Because I went to school when, see, you're young. I went to school when there was a way of placing out of like, if you were smart in high school, then you could really let it rip and do whatever in college. Like I'm in my room actually with all my college books, Eros and Civilization, Western Attitudes Towards Death, Why People Photograph, erotic art, realism, the lives of the artists, sexual personae, the agony and the ecstasy, the history of Michelangelo's life. I'm literally not making this up. Feminism, art history, early medieval art. I was real. Oh, and then there's literally some really dirty books too. History of like vibrators and stuff.
Well, see, listen, if you could get 3 credits to learn the history of vibrators, I mean, kids, their money well spent. Come on.
Yeah. I do actually have the history of vibrators. I didn't plan on this, but I know it's somewhere. Anyway, not really. Anyway, so I have, cosmology books.
Yes.
I'm not making any of this up.
Well, just for the record, I said that I was going to trash the show up, but you welcome. This is your home now because you're my people, Melissa Errico. You're funny. You're not just Eliza Doolittle. You are.
No.
You are a
Our Eliza Doolittle was. Oh, I have to teach all you young people things. Our Eliza Doolittle was radical when it wasn't allowed to be radical, and so then it was just a minor mess. Like not a mess, but it just wasn't as radical as it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be like for example, Higgins is a scientist, and Higgins, like Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein, he wanted to create her. And there were these almost S&M type elements in it where like Higgins was supposed to be kind of standing over her, like, and she was kind of like, ooh, and there was like a vibe between them, like an electricity, but also a drive for him to make her. And she knew darn well she was going to make herself. So they had like equal passion, equal life force, equal willingness to create a person. She was going to create herself. He was going to create her, and they were going to be great in bed.
I mean that, but is that the backstory that you craft when you go into a show? Do you build a big backstory to the character? Is that the homework that you do?
Well, when I was auditioning for it, which took forever, like 11 auditions, I was not even 22. I was like 21. And then I was 22 when I opened in the show. And that's when Julie Andrews did it. But there was like some concern. I was like too young. And they were like, well, Julie Andrews did it at 22. But 22 is young. And when I was auditioning for it, I didn't create a backstory, like literally. But even as I was welcoming her into my life or hoping for the part, I was tending violets. I actually went and got violets. And I just took care of flowers. Like from all that, I'm telling all these funny things and I started off a hyper, but I actually kind of let the character in different ways than I can't always put my finger on it, how I find a character. But I started in her case tending violets in my windowsill and really wishing for it. And I think she comes to Higgins's house. I've come to have lessons, I have, to pay for them too, make no mistake.
Your accent work is so good. I told you I was watching, we just saw clips of you doing a bunch of different pieces, and your accent work is impeccable. And I mean, forget the voice, but your accent work.
Thank you. I have to say, it's not really, I have a good ear for accents, but I was given a wild opportunity, which was when I got cast in the part after this whole crazy process where they would compare me to all the girls from California. Then they'd have me come back and they'd have me from all the girls from England that would actually come over, and they'd have me compare me to anybody, like a couple of girls from Ireland or just another group of girls from music school. Like, they just kept comparing me and making me do it again and again on Broadway stages. When I finally got the part, they sent me to London to work with the Professor Higgins of that time. And she's passed away. Her name was Joan Washington. And she was the most extraordinary person. I never forget. I went to her house. I had to take all these subways, and I stayed in a little kind of bed and breakfast that they paid for. And I went to her house, which was a little bit out in the suburbs of London. And she had a beautiful home. And I remember her coming down this sort of, not wasn't spiral, but it was a turning staircase. And she wore Edwardian clothing. And she had all these buttons. And she had a blouse, a little bit like what I'm wearing now, but more extraordinary, a little more. And she had a jacket and slacks. She was like a man, but a woman. And she was the most extraordinary intellectual. And she sat me down and she said, I'm going to teach you what phonetics is. And we worked for a week. And I mean, she drew the mouth. She taught me, I'll never forget, she taught me what a lateral plosion is. And this is what a lateral plosion is. Are there young people watching this? Or it's like young people like you or actors and stuff. So,
yes.
so So let's say you're going to say the word little. It's not little, and that's all proper and be. That's not. That's it's little, little. Do you hear that funny sound I'm making? Little, and that's actually a loud implosion. That's like a little air coming out. So little, little. That's more proper to have little, and it's not. So it's not little and all that sort of stupid stuff we think is all posh. Little. So that little sound, she said, is exactly what will make you real, you know. And Cockney, she taught me a lot about Cockney, none of which I was prepared for right now, but the idea of rhyming slang and the fact that it was a kind of hidden code. It was a way of sometimes insulting someone or even insulting a rich person, but they wouldn't understand what you said because it rhymed. So it was a trick. So the idea that the Cockney people were so clever and that they had created their own sub-language, it was the beginning of really the concept that Eliza was an empowered person. So she's someone who came from a place that was its own species and had its own survival mechanisms. And even in their language was the language of survival and wit. Everything's funny, you know, the pig and whistle and all these funny things, like they were funny. So you can't really get a Cockney person down, you know?
Well,
So
you do.
all this, like suffering and singing loverly, like you're really down and like, oh, I wish, you know, I had a house and everything. That's not right. She's like, all I want. She's got like mischief in her eyes. And that was really important to the director too, is not that I wouldn't be sappy and American.
Well, what I love so much is when you play up what I there's a point to my question.
Oh, sorry.
No, what for mine? I'm just saying I don't want to ramble. When you talk about the roles you played, Cosette and Sunday in the Park and Camelot and Sound of Music and My Fair Lady, I thought even White Christmas and Finian's Rainbow, all these very serious, beautiful songs, and then I go digging around to see your live show, and I am waiting for you to be these, and then I see this clip of you singing Company and rolling around the floor, and I'm like, oh, there's a lot to Melissa Errico. She's not just out there with that beautiful high vibrato. She is a fun time. Is there a joy and a freedom you have to doing a concert as to being on stage in a performance? You're free. You're doing a concert. You can.
It's interesting. It's interesting you should say that, because I was always very like unplugged and free and spirit, and I was always kind of roaring inside. Even when I was playing an ingenue, I was hot, inside. But I was having to say, in my life, there are so many questions and answers that, and that's what I had to say, right? But inside, I was like a fluttering bird who's desperate, to get out and fly. I read Victor Hugo, and it's, but you can only do what you can do with the script. But when you're doing a concert, a concert's not necessarily something that you do or can do as easily until you've compiled loads of frustration, passion, and experiences, because then you get on the concert stage, and someone like me, like I'm always turning and soaring and pushing myself and driving and interested in stuff. Like, so concerts allow me to like think of something a little different, try another arrangement, let out like an idea. I don't have to be contained by the script. But I think concerts benefit from, I just think I have much more to give now that I have had a lot of experiences in this on stage, and a lot of door knocking when the door didn't open, or where I tripped and fell like plenty of times. So I process on a personal level. It's almost a combination of interpreting the songs fresh through your life experiences, but also telling the audience, do you remember this song? Don't you love this song? So you have to hit that nerve of like, you have to hit the nerve of familiarity, because they love the music. But I like to sometimes hit the tuning fork of their mind in a new way. They go, oh, they hear another way of thinking about something. So I can take the ingenue material, do other things with it. I've written about this ingenue problem. That my first piece in the New York Times was, they approached me to write for the Times, and they said, we think you could write for us. And I said, Okay. I really was like on the phone. That phone rang. I was like, what? Who? You know, I'm supposed to be afraid of the New York Times, right? I'm supposed to be, like freaking out every time that word is spoke. Those 4 words. The New York Times.
Yeah.
4. So you're supposed to have like a heart attack when you hear those words. But anyway, they called me and they said, we think you could write for the paper. I was like, and they said, is there anything going on like in your career? And I said, no, I'm in my 40s and I'm being asked to play Sharon again in Finian's Rainbow. I'm just getting too old to play these pretty ingenues. And like, I don't know what's happening. So no, there's nothing going on. And he was like, that's interesting. So my first piece was about aging as an ingenue. And it was about what it was to have a thin little waist and a perfect this and all that. And now everything's getting wider and harder. So anyway, I unpacked. He said, would you be willing to pack and unpack that? And I said, sure. So I started unpacking different things like sexism and, you know, the playbill cruise and auditions. And I've been, you know, I don't have a ton of time to stop the actor's life and think about being an actor, but I have one right now in process.
Yay. You know, a lot of people, upcoming actors that want to learn, they want to learn from people like you that have been there and have that firsthand experience.
Oh,
so,
yeah. And that's the only reason I'm writing. Like I'm not a gossipy person, and I would certainly never write anything in a critic's kind of point of view. It's really just to somehow illuminate the actor's process. You know, I'm not young anymore, and I have been around, and I feel like they approached me because they know that I had both a lot of good things happen and a lot of missteps, and that I would speak frankly about how frustrating and fabulous this career is. And so my goal is really to kind of just keep opening the door on the fact that an ambivalent attitude towards being an actor is okay. And that you young folks could feel okay, that not everything is working out, that's fuel. And how, you know, find yourself through your failures as well as your successes, you know.
That's a whole word that I'm going to take with me as we hang up this, and the tomorrow comes and it's another no and another self-tape and another, it's the grind.
Yes. You just have to keep alive though and not get bitter, you know.
Yes.
They have to somehow not get angry and not get hurt and not take everything personally, you know. If the agents aren't something, it's not about you. It's just because they have they have the patience that they have the group that they have their perceptions, and they might not be right.
Right.
You know,
100%.
People in power aren't necessarily right. And that's hard for us actors to remember.
100%.
You know, we got to stick together.
Thank you. I so appreciate that. We started chatting because you were going to Las Vegas. You have been on this whirlwind of a tour. You've been to San Francisco. You've been to Vegas. You've been to Indianapolis.
I'm going tomorrow, London. Then I have a live stream in New York in the middle. And then I'm going back to Florida. Then I'm doing something on PBS. I mean, literally. And then like, it's crazy. It's fantastic. But crazy. Oh, and then LA, Palm Springs, Palm Beach.
You're everywhere. Really Melissa Errico is on Road Warrior. She's like Aerosmith. She's like ready to come into your town. No.
The Aerosmith of aging ingenues.
Well, the Wall Street Journal, and I've listened to it all week, called your Sondheim album literally one of the best Sondheim albums put together. I've listened to it. The arrangements are beautiful. And you're doing these Sondheim songs that you've become a part of his songbook. Like you are, when people think of the songstresses of his songbook, you are one of the main people we think of. So you're going to be in New York.
Yes, I'm going to be in New York. There is the poster. Look at those eyes. Oh. So he's like a god, you know, to all of us. Very defining man. Very, very defining man. And someone who, you know, everybody wanted to impress and felt they failed to impress, or they hoped to impress, or how are you going to learn those lyrics? It's a standard, the highest of standards. And the kind of beautiful thing is that what I feel happened in the last 10, 15 years of his life is he made an effort to be more and more and more generous. He left behind a whole web of letters and encouragements and illuminations about his work. He responded to people. He encouraged and rewarded great people. Like Richard Maltby got a letter, and David Shire, and everybody felt like he wanted to leave behind the seeds, and he harvested his own talent, but what he left behind are all these seeds. And I think that's what now that I'm doing these concerts in tribute to him, what I learn from him and what I admire in him is not only that he harvested all his talent and he got so much done, and he overcame a lot of flops. Don't forget, Mr. Sondheim didn't have that many hits. He, over 30 years, he's probably made a fortune, but he was a persistent, hardworking craftsman, and harvested his talent, pushed through things, and then left behind seeds everywhere. So bless his heart, really. And so we have a lot of fun doing it because the shows are fun. The Baker's Wife, and I do Dot, and I play all these parts, Desiree, and then I do some of my own kind of jazzy alchemy stuff with a purpose, and I tell you what that purpose is. So we have a really wild show, and if it hits me, it hits hard, and it's like it's a tapestry, really. And I feel he left behind an encouragement, like we should play, But he always told me that if you're going to play, just make sure you sing the notes I wrote. And then you can change it. He says, he called me the girl singer. He said, you're an actress and a girl singer. So that's fine. So lay down the melody first and then be the girl singer. Just make sure the audience. So I think a jazz singer, he would say something different. Like, just do whatever the hell you want. He can't even explain, to a jazz singer, like what the notes are exactly. But with people like us who are musical theater actors, he wanted that to move forward. He wants the melodies out there. Mm-hmm. And the accuracy out there, and you need to kill yourself for that accuracy.
Yeah,
I do.
That's the intimidating thing. Words, lyrics. I heard a story about him saying they skipped the and go back and went on a recording like there's no it's written.
Yes. Oh, you should pay close attention to Send in the Clowns. It's so interesting that there's the but, and then there's the and. It's at the last verse. It's like it's just very important that it's a but, and then the last verse it's and. When I'm there, I know it, and I'm always. It's so. Send in the Clowns is so important. You can't just go, but where are the clowns? It's not that. It's where are the clowns the first time. It's not but where. It's where the first time. So you don't throw the but any old place.
It's with an intention. Well, if you want to see this,
you say but where, right? It's different than the first time you say where are the clowns. It's so different than but where are the clowns? That's something you've said once before. Anyway, so you can come see it on Tuesday. You
could hear these songs, and you could hear the stories, but your story and his story and all of that at thegreenroom42.com. If you're not in the New York tri-state area, it's virtual, so you can get a ticket and you can watch it from the comfort of your home. If you're in Florida, or if you're in London, or if you're in the West Coast in LA and Palm Springs, all you need to do is go to melissaerrico.com. You can find all of her upcoming tour dates, and there are many, and there's different shows. You don't only have to see the Sondheim show. You can come and see the other shows. She has an album out called but now we have all of the Melissa Errico on the screen at the same time. Out of the Dark, the film Noir project, which is also stunning and gorgeous.
That's my brand new album. And I have a little crossover of noir because Sondheim had a neo-noir song with Sooner or Later from Dick Tracy, which was kind of a neo-noir revival movie. Yeah. So I tie it together because Ted always says, we just made this great album, like whatever. He's proud of it. And so we have our noir moment, and noir is a whole other world. So I hope people will check that out. I have a website called thefilmnoirproject.com. And I might, because a lot of people have been contributing ideas, we might sort of collect and make it it is already a project with intellectuals. There's a novella, there's photographers have contributed, there's a music video, but it's an ongoing thing. I might start recruiting other divas to be femme fatales with me.
I have to check it out. That sounds amazing. Of course, she's talking about the amazing arranger, piano player, musician, superstar that is Ted Firth. Ted, on my album, he did an arrangement of How Deep is the Ocean that I did with Jane Monheit. And I know that I'm like number... I'm number like 26 on the Ted Firth list of availability. Like, there's Melissa Errico's, there's the Marilyns, there's and then Robert Bannon is like somewhere down there. But
here's the thing about Ted, that's not true. Ted is very, like, if he's available, he'll play. He doesn't work like that. So actually, just get him early. You just got to get booked early.
Right, exactly. Well, when I saw the video, there's a video and watching, and we just showed actually a clip of it, of Nothing's Gonna Harm You. His choices and your choices in that, your version of that, you bring new life to it, but it's also so familiar, and it's so an homage to the way it's done, but just the chords and the choices in your voice it's such a definitive recording of that song, in my opinion. It's really beautiful.
Thank you. That's like an anthem to protecting children and the children of our world. I mean, we are living in like a time where it's even more important than it was when I did it before. I was hoping with that song to create some kind of anthem of protection for the children of the world, and get it a little bit out of the specifics of cannibalism and meat pies. And I sometimes feel like Sondheim wrote for very specific characters in very specific situations. But I believe the songs, many, and address universal problems, universal and philosophical emotions. Even though he wrote with great specificity, he accomplished something infinite that could apply to so many other things that are universal. So that's why I called my album Sondheim Sublime, because I thought he's a king.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we'll be celebrating it on Tuesday night. So if you're free Tuesday night, 7:00 Eastern time, go to thegreenroom42.com, get your virtual ticket, get your tickets before they sell out, and then you're not able to come see it live. And make sure to check out melissaerrico.com in case she's coming to your neck of the woods, and see her live and in person. Melissa, you're so charming, and you're so beautiful, and you're so great.
I'm so happy Twitter brought us together. Love that. That's the one good thing ever happened from Twitter.
Same. Thanks to Alana Keller. Alana Keller, who is a writer here for the Asbury Park Press and USA Today, she put out there that Melissa was looking for anyone that was in Vegas, and I was in Vegas, and Alana said me, and then all of a sudden,
I'm just
there. You're here.
Well, thanks for listening and having me, and nice to meet everybody.
Appreciate you. We'll be watching, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Cheers. Thanks.
So there's Melissa's dates. Melissa's going to be all over the place. So make sure you catch her when you can. She's all over, literally. Isn't she so sweet? She's so wonderful and charming and sweet. Abby said she has a good accent. I'm so impressed. And then thank you, Nancy Allen Shore, who is here. And Melissa she's got a show right now. She's got a show in Florida. And Deb, I agree. Ted Firth is perfection. It was an honor to work with him. And I was so nervous to work with him. Alrighty. I'm going to switch gears. Yes, these are my students. My students, they call me homie number 9. Hi, Asma. She's a ray of light. She's in Florida. She's performing at the Breakers, which is like, excuse me. And I love her too. I'm excited for her show on Tuesday. I'm really excited for her show on Tuesday. She's so sweet. So Deb Felix, as you saw in the comments, who's out in San Francisco, she saw the show and was like, it's amazing. So, and Abby, thank you for staying up. Changing gears to everybody watching. We're changing gears. No, I'm Jersey. So yeah, we could do the fancy Melissa Errico diva ingenue, but then sometimes we like to have fun. So if you are a child of the 80s and 90s like me, Miss Margaret, who works in my school, has been excited about these next two guests since we announced it like 2 weeks ago. She told me in the classroom, she was like, I'm going to watch the show tonight. And I know that she's here because she's commented before. So Margaret, this is for you. Brenda K Starr is a superstar of the freestyle dance world, she dances and she sings, and she discovered Mariah Carey, and she lives in Jersey, and we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do Robin S. So stay with me. We're told you we're in for a long show tonight. Here's some disco with Brenda K Starr, and she's here. Here we go.
so easy to see. I miss you and me.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you are a fan of dance, if you're a fan of freestyle, listen, if you're just a fan of music, one of the most gorgeous voices, a voice that I have literally, I feel like I've grown up with, is the one and only Miss Brenda K Starr, and she is here. Ladies and gentlemen, Brenda! Hi! It's so nice. I'm wonderful. It's so nice to meet you and see you here in person. I feel like through your voice, I know you.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. Such an amazing opportunity to meet you.
No, please. To you. You're in Jersey. I'm in Jersey. Yeah. Jersey knows Jersey. Mm-hmm. It's a certain language, certain voice, certain vernacular, so to speak. Yes. And beautiful Jersey Shore behind you. Yes. Are you from here?
No, I'm originally from New York. I was born and raised in Manhattan on the Upper West Side, and I was raised in the Wires Tower projects. But I moved to Jersey because I thought I was grown and I wanted to be on my own. And I think I was 17 when my mom co-signed a lease for me. And at about 17, my mom would stay with me. I had my own little apartment, and then went on my own at 18. I started living in Jersey, and I've been here, many years.
And you're now New Jersey, and we've stolen you. That's it. I mean, New York will always.
New York is always in my heart, but New Jersey, I think, is been a place for me to raise my kids humbly, and also just a place for it to be not so busy and active, because I was so used to being that young girl running around, all over the place, doing everything from roller skating to hip hop dancing to singing, recording, songwriting. And, I was always fast in New York. So I knew when I had kids, or when I was getting, wanted to do my own little thing musically, I wanted to be somewhere where I could create, where it was quiet. And I love New Jersey. I really do.
Me too. Well, when we go back in the day, can you tell us how Harry Belafonte is responsible for all things Brenda, the start of your career? Is that true?
Yeah, actually he is. Harry.
That's it.
Harry, we got a lot of music lovers around. Harry actually met me because there was a big breakdance contest there were auditions being held at 1018 for like a big breakdance contest, and Harry Belafonte was supposed to be there, and I heard it through a bunch of friends because I was in a breakdance group. And fast forward, I knew when he was coming in, and when he walked through the door, I fastly approached him and said, "Listen, I wrote a song for your movie. I want to sing in your movie." And he was like, "Really?" And I was like, "My name is Brenda." I said, "Please just listen to my song." He says, "Well, I'm going to go do an interview," which he was, with the news, and he would talk to me after, but he was so long up there and everybody left. And the only people that were allowed to stay were the people that were, volunteering to clean up set. So I made believe I was one of the set cleaners. And he didn't come down. And then another man walked out who was tall, light skinned, and he just looked like someone. And I just started singing Love on a Two-Way Street. And the man was like, "Who's that singing?" And I was like, "That's me." And the guy was like, "What a beautiful voice you have." And I was like, "I'm waiting for Mr. Belafonte because I want to audition for his movie. I wrote a really great song, and I want to be a singer, and I think he should listen to me sing." And he goes, "So do I." So he said, "Wait right here." And then he brought him down, and I sang for Harry Belafonte. And then they immediately gave me, the guy's name was David Pickett. He gave me Arthur Baker's phone number and asked that I call Arthur Baker, who was a producer. And I told my mom about it, and I called the next day, and I went and met up with Arthur Baker. And from there, they gave me a production deal with him. And then somebody stopped me in the middle of Roxy's roller rink about, I think 3 weeks later, and the guy's name was Nelson Fast Forward Cruz. He passed away from COVID, may he rest in peace. He said, "Are you Brenda Starr?" And I was like, "Yes." And he was like, "I need to give you my number. Somebody wants to give you a record deal." And I was just like scared because he was like asking me for my number first. And I had already had a production deal with Arthur Baker. And he practically owned me. I was writing for Beat Street. He was creating my first album. I was underneath his wing. He was a great, inspiration. And, it was really great tools to have someone like him help me. And I started working with him. And then after I met this guy, Nelson, I had a meeting with Jerry Greenberg from Mirage Records. And it was distributed by Atlantic Records. I got picked up by Mirage. They got me out of my contract. Arthur continued to produce me. And I remember getting a huge check, and my mother has 7 kids. So when I got that check, I really thought it was a lot less because I was so bad with numbers. And I just, I wasn't great with math. I was young, I thought, who needs school? I'm going to be a singer. But after realizing education was very important, obviously I went on and got my high school diploma, etc. But I didn't realize how big the deposit was, just the advance was. It was a lot of money, and I furnished my mom's apartment. And with the first record I had, I bought my mom a house. And I told my mom used to clean house, used to run illegal numbers. My mom used to work in a hospital as a translator. I mean, we had 7 siblings, so we were used to being on Medicare and having coupons to eat with. So for us, to get something like this gift that I got just because of Harry Belafonte, this would have never happened. But I'm so indebted to him.
Brenda, that story is it's out of a movie. Never mind a movie. It literally is out of a movie.
Yes, I mean, I've had a tough life. I mean, but I think it's just a gift, you know, to have a mother that has 7 kids. And my mom was on her own since she's 14. My mother was abused as a child by her stepmom, her real mom. She was taken from her real mom, so she didn't know what it was to have love. So at 13, she ran away, and she ended up coming to the city, and she started her life. And her other sister left with her, who was 15, and they both ran away together. It was 3 of them, but one of them they lost contact with. And when they finally found where she was, because somebody said that they were related to me, and it happened to be her son. And my mom was at a video shoot, and my mom was like, where is she? Where is she? And she was like, she passed away last year. So she had been looking for her for over 40 something years, and thought within 50 years, you know, maybe she did pass away. And the moment I did my video, this guy was looking for me, and I didn't even know he's related to me until he showed me pictures, and my mom's like, that's my sister. But when my mom wanted to see her, she had already passed away.
Oh, your mom! What a life! What a story! 7 of you.
7, 5 boys,
7.
and me and my sister, 2 girls. Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
And then out comes Brenda K Starr, and then you
And
become
it's such a gift. My mom worked so hard. I was like, you don't have to work anymore. I was like, that's it. And I bought her a house, and you know, I've both taken care of my mom ever since. My mom's 83.
Here's a little one of the throwbacks to this time.
That was
the
MCA album. That was the second album.
Okay.
The first one was I Want Your Love on Mirage Atlantic with Jerry Lindbergh. Yeah.
And which one of them had Picking Up the Pieces on it?
MCA's album. I think it was MCA's. Yeah. Oh no, I think it was I Want Your Love album. Yes, it was, because Arthur Baker produced that first album and he had Tommy Farragher, Steve Lunt, Lottie Golden. Yeah, so a lot of great writers.
Well, that was the first top 10 record that you had, the first of multiple top 10 records, and that came out, and then of course everyone of a certain age like myself knows in 1987, you know, I Still Believe came out. And what I love about that record, if I may say, is for someone who does a lot of dance music and has done a lot of dance and club music, your vocals on that record are stunning.
Thanks. I sing it now, and I'm like, oh my God, how did I hit those notes? Because it's like I get to some of the keys, and I'm like, wow. So it's like I gotta sleep longer. I gotta make sure that I don't have a glass of wine or anything to dry my vocals out before a concert. But I could assure you, when I'm done, I'm grabbing a glass of wine, or I'm having some Tito's and seltzer. But it's like it's a gift, and I have to be honest. Even with all my music, I am now working on re-recording all my hits. And I'm going to definitely bring down some of the keys just because I want to make it more today. Because I Still Believe when I was 16. So for me, when it was released when I was almost 17, I said, you know, I have that baby voice sound, and I still can somewhat get it. But now I have a little bit more of a husky, sexier, because I'm an adult and, you know, I'm not a baby anymore. So I started working with Tommy Farragher, and we're actually re-recording I Still Believe now. So it's going to be a great treat. We're going to be doing Breakfast in Bed over and over. Love Me Like the First Time.
Yes.
Keep It a Secret. You know, I'll Wake Up the Neighbors. I used to love that song. Remember that song?
Yes.
Why do I smile when you're around? I get so high, I can't come down. It's getting late, but I can't wait.
But that voice, oh my, you know, your voice, the tone of your voice, it just makes me melt. It's what I think of, like, yeah, I love a beat and I want to dance, but I could just listen to you sing anything, literally.
We got a new dance record out called it's called, oh my goodness, The Only One I Love. So the vibe of the new dance song that I wanted was very old school Deborah Cox to Mia.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. It is written by Alyssa B. And my daughter came in and worked on the bridge with her because we had a different bridge and I loved it, but then I liked it, but I didn't love it. So
Okay.
we recreated the bridge.
Yes.
But the song is genuinely about someone who's with someone, but they really still loved the last person they were with, but
Okay.
they had to let go because it just wasn't right. But oh my God, it's the only one I love. I wish I could remember the melody, and I've been working on it and finishing it up. They're mastering it now. But I'm going to do a video kind of like Vogue for the LGTB community. I want to have it with
Yes.
a bunch of impersonators. I want it to be
You-
like I'm in a kaleidoscope with all color, and just like fans would dress in color. I just love
Yes.
that whole
Come
sound.
on. Yes. Well, we're excited. If people want to see, you can go to BrendaKStarr.com, or you can follow Brenda at official Brenda K Starr on Instagram. I'm sure you'll be posting the video and posting the new music when it comes out, because
Yes.
we're here. We're waiting for it. We're waiting for it.
Chris is like this. I wake up every morning and it's always the same. I feel his arms around me, but I still see your face. Left with the consequences, choices that I made, using a smile to hide the pain. I just go through the motions of living day to day, still hiding from the memories of how I walked away. I wanna run back to you, but now it's much too late. I've only got myself to blame. I wish you knew how much it hurt me when I made you cry. I wish you knew how hard it was for me to say goodbye. Some things are better to let go without a reason why. Because the truth would hurt much more than when I lie, and it hurts so much. Cause in my heart you're still the only one I love. I wish I could go back and make it like it was. If it's any consolation for the both of us, you're still the only one I love, my love.
Oh, thank you for that so much. Thank you so much for that. You know what I have to say is, after hearing that, the music you make, you're so big on the melody, and you have such catchy melodies. And I'm listening to that, I'm like, that song's gonna be stuck in my head for the rest of the day, and it's not out. The melody, the musicality of your music is what makes it live forever.
Yeah. Well, I am very big on melodies. Like, you don't really understand so much. And in my
Yes. And
I felt like, oh my God. And then the words were just so realistic. But
Mhm.
I think this song can be a really good hit. So I'm
I do
excited
too.
about it. I'm excited. It's being produced by Gomi. I think he's a Japanese producer. But he's absolutely amazing. And I'm going to be getting some remixes done by DJ Lucho. I've approached DJ Baron Lopez, Charlie Baby, Tim Spinning Schumer. And I mean, I get a lot of people that want to do remixes, but
of course,
this new song I think is just going to be phenomenal. And
well,
the
I'm
video's
ready.
going to be fire.
Come on, I'm ready. I want a video premiere party. I want to go to the club when you debut it. I'm ready, Brenda.
Yeah.
Come on.
We're definitely going to do something big, especially because it's a new English album. And I haven't done English, like a full album, in a while. So that's why I wanted to go back and re-record stuff. I just did Climax's song, I Miss You, which I did as a ballad. Did you hear it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. It's such a
dedicated
beautiful song.
Yeah, that's for my brother Alfred. But it was one of his favorite songs. And when I heard it one night, it was just like, I need to do this for him. And when I went into the studio, I have to tell you, I originally was going to just do it as a ballad. But then I remember how much he celebrated life. So I'm like, I'm going to do a dance version. And my husband's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. So I reached out to the producer. I'm like, can you give me like a really upbeat, fun, clubby sound? And when he gave it to me, I was like, I love this. And about 2 days later, I went in and like cut the vocal. But just the whole album has so much versatility. And I also just finished the video for my Latin single, which is a song called Quédate. And I have a lot of different like risque type of clothing shots, because I'm not one like I mean, honestly, I could be cute, sexy on stage, but I'm more tomboy. I hang out. Obviously, I've had a hat on, but I don't really wear makeup and do all that stuff. So when we do the video, they glam you all up. So I think this is the most risque video I've ever done in my whole career. And it's just very sexy, the song. Everything's in a tub and out of the tub to the bedroom. It's just not me, but it's about someone being in love with someone that passes away, but they are in their spirit. The person that's losing that person has them there in spirit. Like their spirit is there with them, hugging them, and she can feel it. at one point in the video, he bought her a beautiful nightie and she's dancing in the video with it. And that's something I would never do.
Oh, but you do it so even the video of you on the beach from the song, like you're so beautiful. I see videos of you on stage. You're so beautiful. So I can't wait to see this. It's
well, thank you, because I don't always feel beautiful.
No, you sure look at.
I'm like, oh my God, when can I fix this?
Get out of here! No, don't. When you were singing, I'd be remiss to not just mention that before we talk about some shows that you have coming up, because you got to come see Brenda K Starr live in person.
Yes, this Friday I'm in for the Divas Freestyle
with the Divas. You've got the Divas together, and then you'll be. A great lineup of freestyle artists and performers for sure. But when you're singing, I'm going to say this, maybe you've said this, but I'm going to say this, talk about Harry Belafonte. Brenda is, hands the demo from Mariah to Tommy Mottola, and when you hear Brenda K Starr sing and you hear Mariah Carey sing, you see what she's taken from you and what she's learned from working with you, because the cadence and the tone and the sound and the runs of your voice are so familiar in her music.
Yeah, she was with me for like 5 years, 4 or 5 years. Yeah. Well, everyone learns and feeds off of each other. And I think that God puts us in places for so many different reasons. And not only was she a background singer for me, she was my homegirl. She's my best friend. I love and adore Mariah. And I still adore Mariah. Mariah will always be my Raya, because I used to call her Raya. And, a lot of people have different perceptions because of her success and because of what my success is like. I have a beautiful, successful career. I got 5 beautiful granddaughters. I have 4 beautiful I have 4 beautiful kids. I'm traveling the world, and I still get to enjoy what I do. And I'm so proud that I made such a mark in history, finding the most talented woman in music history other than Aretha Franklin and Whitney. So for me, I could always say that this is something that I made a mark in history, and my music has left a mark in history and to the bands that follow me. But something like this is huge, and I knew the talent when I saw it. So for me, there were no blinders on to worry just about me, but it was a space and a time for me to open doors for someone who deserved the opportunity. And that's why I think God has blessed me for this long to do what I'm doing and love what I'm doing and healthy kids, etc. I'm so happy for her. I love her so much. I'm so happy for her.
And then talk about in your own family. I mean, your daughter Gianna is quite the singer. What a voice.
Singer, actress. I mean, she's in college right now. She just was the lead in a one-woman show. She got the lead role. She's actually going to be, and that show is called The Process. And now she just got casted for a one-woman show on off Broadway. So she's doing that. She also is getting her master's in is it master's that comes first or bachelor's?
Bachelor's.
Okay, so she's getting her master's now because she already got her bachelor's in English literature to write, and she's also doing music as a minor.
Oh my God! In her free time, when she's not doing a one-woman show.
Isn't that crazy?
Bless you.
Thank you.
She
she does everything, and between recording and writing all her music, I mean, she's got a full album that's ready to go. But the way that Gianna works is, and I can say that it's accredited to me and my husband, because even though we're very busy with our careers and him managing me and me trying to stay above ground, still staying a parent as well as a relevant parent, we instill that education is important. So if you're not going to do college, you better have a trait to know that that's something people are going to need. Like my son is an electrician and he's worked for the union. He has a very good career. My daughter, on the other hand, I told her, you got to find a career just in case. So she will continue to get her music education degree and her literature, English literature degree. So she has a chance to work with education in both ways, with music and English, and be a writer. And she wants to pursue her music like me. I was a music therapist when I wasn't singing. That's what I used to do. Between records, after losing the deal with Tommy, I worked at a nursing home, hospitals, singing to kids for music therapy, kids that were terminally ill with cancer. I used to work at the Giggles Theater. I used to bring young kids that I used to mentor music. I used to visit schools and sing with kids to teach them the gift of music. Some was no pay. Some was all volunteer. And that's what I try to teach my kids, to give back. But remember, education comes first, because you can be a singer up here today, and tomorrow you can have 0. So you have to
Yeah.
remember, you need to be able to work yourself right in the real world.
I was a student of musical theater. I was a singer and an actor, and I got my parents made me become a school teacher. And let me tell you, the past 2 years being a school teacher, especially in COVID and having that paycheck and that health insurance, and and I still get to be artistic and I get to do my music and I get to talk to amazing people like you. But on the 15th and the 30th, thank God there's a paycheck.
Yeah, praise God,
Pays
there's a
my
check,
bills.
and there's health
Thank God.
insurance, because health
Yes.
insurance is not very cheap.
No.
We're independent contractors. We
Yeah.
work for ourselves. So for us, unless you have ASCAP or BMI or
Right.
anything after, and you pay into your fund, you'll get health care. But some people don't know about that.
No.
So
Yep.
it's tough. So I always tell my kids, if you
For
have something
sure.
to fall back on, then I'm okay with you pursuing this. So yeah, she does have a career, and she's moving forward with her music, but she's just finishing up her degrees so that she has a B plan, because she says there was never a B plan, only an A plan. But I told her, no,
I hear that.
make a B plan, baby.
Well, she's a star, so I'm excited to see what happens for her.
I also have another daughter that she's an actress. She actually just landed 3 weeks or 4 weeks in the Tyler Perry Kings of Queens show.
Yes.
Yeah, she's acting as one of a girl in the playing a role. So hopefully it may be reoccurring, and she's singing, but she's mostly acting and modeling. And her name's Tori_Festa. You can find her on Instagram. She's absolutely beautiful. Not because she's my daughter.
No, of
Absolutely
course.
beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Well, let me tell you, you and Chris, you make some amazing children. Then you have a beautiful family, and
Thank you.
I want to say before I let you go and enjoy your rest of your night, can you tell us what can we expect when we go to a Brenda K Starr show? Because I know that we have this show coming up as well, up later in the month, March.
NJ Pack. Yep, I think it's on the
19th.
The 19th.
March 19th.
Yep, me, Cece Pedersen, George Lamont, Black Sheep. I know Lizette Melendez is also involved. I mean, you could expect, me singing all my hits. I Still Believe, What You See Is What You Get, over and over, picking up the pieces. I throw some Spanish in there, of course. I like to do that. This is a bilingual show for me. So I will be at this Friday doing the Divas of Freestyle. Be me, Lizette Melendez, Judy Torres, Seabank, Cynthia, and Sapphire. And with that being said, it's going to be all of us, just going out there doing our thing. I'm going to be singing all my hits. I'm just trying to not stay at one level. I'm just trying to start pushing myself to different levels so that I can show my fans that it doesn't matter how old we get, we only get better.
No way.
So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get up there and be better, just like them 27-year-olds.
And you are. And I'm excited for the new music. If everybody, wherever you are, whatever you use to listen to music, Apple, Spotify, Tidal, whatever you listen to, wherever you get your music, iTunes, listen to Brenda K Starr. English, the Latin records, Latin hit record, top 10 smash hit Latin records. Go listen to her music and then find her. And if you're in the New Jersey area, either Friday night or the next 2 weeks at NJ Pack, I'm at NJ Pack, Brenda. So if you see someone with blonde hair and glasses,
you come by and you say hi to me. I would love to.
I'm gonna have to give some love. And if you see someone with glasses and blonde hair, not on the beat but trying to get it,
that's all right.
That's me.
Jewish. I don't know.
I do. I'll be the one there. Yes.
I'm the only one in the bar mitzvah that was kind of taking it down.
All right, that's what I need. Really? I'm gonna come over for lessons. So that's
yes. Don't forget to download my new single, guys. It's gonna be out on the 11th of March, and it's a new song called Quédate, and the video is gonna be out too. Share, like, and leave your comments on my YouTube channel, and continue to follow me at officialbrendakStarr.com.
There it is.
And everything you do for me, I appreciate it. So I just want to say thank you. Sorry I didn't get my hair done, but you look gorgeous, because I'm trying to get my hair nice for Friday night. I want to do a really
Friday
nice,
night.
sexy, sleek pony.
Yes, come on now. You're
give me a kiss. Come here. I'm gonna introduce you to my son. This is my son, Christopher. My own.
Hey, how are you? How's it going?
Good.
Nice to meet you. I'm good, thank you. We were just talking about you all
Oh, yeah?
wonderful good
Oh,
things.
good.
How proud mom is. No, mom is so proud of all of you for sure.
See,
Where's the
you're
camera?
right
Oh,
here.
I'm like, why am I not?
That's it. Oh, so nice to meet you.
You
Your
too.
mom is a
Yeah,
legend.
she's the best. Yeah.
She's the best.
I
I
gotta
love
go.
you. All right, God bless you.
All right.
Call me when you get there or text me when you're there, not while you're driving.
Oh, Brenda, I love you. You remind me of home. You're just an East Coast girl like my family. We're Italian, Irish, Jersey people, and you're my people. I appreciate you so much.
No,
Well-
I appreciate you. Really, I do. And whenever I'm in your area and you want to come, just hit Chris up and we'll
I'm
put
gonna
you on
hit
the
Chris
VIP
up.
list.
You got it. That's a promise. I'm ready.
So Friday
I
when you're there, or the following week when you're there, the 19th with NJ Pack, just hit him up and come backstage and let's take some shots together.
I'm ready. I want to
Shots
put them
and,
up.
You know, and then I appreciate the interview really, and thank you
I'm
everybody
so-
for tuning
no,
in.
please.
And I, I'm nothing without you.
I will be promoting the albums and the singles and this interview, and you'll hear a lot more from me. I'm looking forward to seeing you in person.
Yes,
Thank you.
darling.
Thank you so much. You're
No.
so beautiful, and it's an honor.
Thank you. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Thank
I
you.
hope I see you soon.
See, this is what happens. I'm muted. Isn't she a bright light? She's so sweet and wonderful, and I love her so much. That's the one and only, the legendary Miss Brenda K Starr, darling. I love that. I'm gonna steal darling. Abby, you still here? Janelle, you still here? I told you the show was long, Deb. Everybody, we're still here. A couple weeks ago, I was in Las Vegas, and I got a phone call. Beautiful person. She's a real beautiful person. Yeah, thank you, Christine. She's a good one. Beautiful soul, beautiful voice, and I will tell you all about the show. She's performing tomorrow night at a club, but then Saturday she will be in Newark. So I'll be in Newark because I'm going. And I wrote her today. I texted her today and was like, Brenda, I'm coming back for those pictures. And that's why she brought it up today. So I'll be there. I was in Vegas and I got a call from from Veronica. Her name's Veronica. And I was trying to get Robin S because I love her song so much. And so when we were there, she couldn't come on tonight because she's flying in. And I actually just wrote to them too. And they just got here because of the fog in this area. They landed in Baltimore. So they had to come up from Baltimore to New York to do the show on Saturday. So I taped this with her a little whiles ago. When you hear the song, y'all, you're gonna just lose it. When you hear this song, you're gonna lose it. She's a legend. Even though it was 2 weeks ago, stay with me. She sings too. She sings. Robin S is here. All right, everybody, listen. My home state is New Jersey, and New Jersey knows how to dance, party. We love dance music. We love freestyle. We love the club mixes, and there is no song that is more fire than this next lady's song and legacy of work for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, it is such a great honor. Please welcome the amazing dance diva, Robin is here. Hello.
How are you?
I am wonderful, and I'm so honored to talk to you because I have a couple of memories of your music in my life for sure.
Well, that's a good thing. That is an absolutely great thing.
Well, I was thinking about your songs, all of them, and especially the Show Me Love album, because I remember when that album came out, going to the Sam Goody, which was in Englewood, New Jersey, and getting myself a copy of it. I can see the cover, and I can probably remember a lot of nights, listening to you and dancing with you and that beautiful, amazing voice.
Most appreciative. At this time in my life, I'm definitely most appreciative.
Okay, but here's the problem, Robin. 30 years? It's 30 years old?
It will be 30 years next year. Yeah. It will. You might as well say it's 30 years. 29 is closer to 30 than anything else. And I mean, honestly, I feel very blessed. All jokes aside and laughter, I feel very blessed to still be riding the wave. It's one thing to have a song, and although I've had other songs that are out and other songs that are on iTunes, and I've done other works, with other people, but to have a song that generations love, it's nothing but a blessing.
Well, I have to tell you that my brother and my sister-in-law are getting married next month. They called me last week and they said, we have to make a list for the DJ and we have to pick our songs for the DJ. And she was like, this is the God's honest truth. She goes, the only song that I know has to be played is Show Me Love by Robin S. She's like, I know the deep cuts. I know all of the album. I know all of her music. She's like, it has to be played because that is and so I said to her, Christina, you want to come on and say hello? She said, no, I've been a fan of hers my whole life. It's everything I've watched. I listened to that music growing up. And so I'll tell you, April 22nd in New Jersey, we will be partying it up to your music.
Well, that's a good thing. Tell Christina and her husband to be that I said I love them. Thank you very much for inviting me to their wedding via song.
We'll be there. I literally, when I was listening to you all week in the treadmill, that second going into, I think the second, that baby, don't you want me? It will stay in my head forever, forever. How did music, have you been singing your whole life? Is this something you've always wanted to do?
Always, as a kid, the parents and my mom and her sisters used to ask us all, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? And my cousins are, doctors, lawyers, specialists, and they are that, doctors, lawyers, and specialists. Me, I want to be a singer. You want to be a singer? Well, that doesn't pay too much. Yeah, I know. I'll get a job, but I want to sing. That's all I wanted to do. And growing up in the house where my dad, he sang, my mom sang a little bit. I used to wake up. She's like, girl, if you don't be quiet, you wake up singing, you go to bed singing. Can you just give me a break? And I was like, no, I just want to sing. It made me happy, and it was all types of music, but it made me very, very happy. And it made me feel warm, as they say, warm and fuzzy on the inside, and there was something about lyrics that drove me to put myself in that zone and in that place, of whatever the song is singing. So I was destined for this.
And what a beautiful, amazing career you've had. I mean, literally, and how did it become that you chose to do dance music? Is it something
No, not at all. I was singing with a band a top 40 band, and we were doing cover tunes. And this young lady by the name of Shirley Govan, she came to see me, and she was managing an artist by the name of Dennis Taylor at the time. And she said, you know, I got somebody that I want to introduce you to. You know, would you be willing? And I was like, yeah, you know, sure. You know, I'm singing with top 40 bands, different top 40 bands, merengue bands, jazz bands. So, you know, I'm doing my thing, you know, across New York, and just, I was like, yeah, sure, I'll meet. So when I met them, and they played the song for me, first of all, I think it was one of them that did the demo for me. That's what I heard. And I was like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like this, you know. And then they said, well, listen to it, just really listen to it. So I took it home and I listened to it. And well, first of all, they came to hear me sing at, you know, top 40 band. And then I went to see them, and they were like, well, take it home and, you know, listen to it and see if you like it. And so I played it, and I played it, and I played it so much. My kids, you know, back then, you know, we didn't have this top technology that we had. You know, it was on the recorder, you know. And
Yes.
I played it so much that my daughters was like, Mom, please, Mom. I was like, I have to listen to the song. I have to see. I took it back. I said, nah, this is not me. I don't like it. I don't like it. And they said, okay, what about you don't like? I said, look, I don't sing dance music. The closest that I sang dance music with a top 40 band was Donna Summer's Last Dance and Michael Jackson's Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Okay, those were the only two like considered dance songs that I did. And they were like, well, just try it. So okay, you know, I tried it. And of course, you never like what you sound like in a playback.
Mm-hmm.
So when I did the first playback, I was like, oh, that is awful. I don't like it, right? And then they said, okay, we'll take it home, live with it. We're going to record it. So, of course, the day that they recorded it, I had the flu. And I had practiced in their studio. And so the first note that makes everybody run to the floor is something that I put in there to give it a flavor. I'm not your fake, I'm not your phony, give it to me. Those are all the little ad libs that I put in to give it some seasoning, you know. And I knew at the time when I was sick and had the flu that I only wanted to sing one time, because I went and stayed in their studio for the weekend, and we were recording the whole album at that point. And because that song was so high energy, I only wanted to sing it one time. I didn't want to ever have to sing it again. Me and my brain saying, I'll never have to sing it again. Let me just sing it now and sing it right, and I'll never have to record it again. So that's what I did. I mean, I pulled notes from the toes and the back and the behind and everywhere so that I could get this song done and get it over with. Because I that first note was like, and even today, when I'm on stage, I'm looking on stage and I'm saying to myself, okay, girl, you know, you have to hit this note. You know, it's got to be right. It's got to be right. Prepare yourself mentally for this.
You come out of nowhere with that beginning. It comes out of nowhere, and you just and you hit it right on the head.
You say nowhere. I say I have to. It's a thought process from the time I'm walking to the stage to the time I hit the stage. It's a thought process. This is the note. This is the way it's supposed to sound. Okay, you can't go off with this note. You can't hit a bad note. You know, I'm talking to myself the whole time.
But you know what is amazing is, and I was watching videos of you singing it, and I know you'll be in Jersey singing it next month, and I'm from Jersey, so you just may catch me out there spinning and twirling on the dance. I'm ready. And NJ Pack coming up this March, 90s dance party. Your technique is stunning. I mean, your voice is stunning. Your technique and your musicality is stunning. I know you've recorded, you know, R&B ballads and gospel. You're on the Space Jam soundtrack. What do you look for when you're looking for material? Is it the lyrics? Is it the melody? What is it that moves you to pick a song?
I listen to the instruments. If the instruments are talking to me, then it's very easy for me to write to. I listen to the keyboard and what it might be saying to me, or what word matches the melody of a keyboard, and then I listen to the bass and what words match, the vibe and the feel of it. It's a whole package that I listen to, and I have to listen to it over and over and over and over and over again, so I could pick out what each instrument is saying to me. And that's how I write. I do a lot of praying. That goes without saying, but I do a lot of praying, and I have a lot of messages, and I always ask God to please download the message so that I could tell the people. And I have songs that on iTunes that people don't even know about, and it didn't matter that it didn't go number one, or the multitude of people didn't buy it or hear it. I needed to get that out. I needed to get that message out. And so when people ask me, then I can say, go on YouTube, go on, iTunes, go wherever to get the message. There's always messages in the bottle, always.
Well, I can tell you this much. You may not think that everyone, but you have a legion of fans that have followed your career, that are listening to your music. And I think being an artist is really an anointing. It's a service to the people. And you've served us well, truly. All these years.
I'm not done yet, though. I'm not done. I'm not finished. I'm not finished.
No, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Not finished.
And you're right.
Kicking and screaming. Okay.
No, that's it. We've only just, the best is yet to come. And you said you're a writer. Is that also something you've always done? You've written many songs. Is that something?
See, because of the people that I was dealing with on this Show Me Love project turned out to be not so nice people. I won't mention their names because I just don't. I held on to a lot of stuff that I'd written. And I write poetry, so it's quite easy to write songs. But I held on to a lot of my stuff because I didn't want them to get a hold of it, and I didn't want anybody to get my publishing and steal it from me and stuff. So, I've been writing for a while, and if I don't feel inspired, then there's been times when I've had writer's block, and I listen to songs and I know what it's saying, I can't feel it, so I put it up. And then I listen to it months later and I'm like, oh, there it is. That's it. And you really, the saddest part about my talent is that I don't play an instrument. However, I can tell you what I hear when I'm creating the melody. So that's the saddest part, because if I was a keyboard player, there would be a multitude of songs. I would never sleep.
I get that. I understand that. Well, you have some beautiful God-gifted instrument right here.
Thank you.
That is for sure. You give a good point for a lot of people who watch this are people who are interested in music and are artists themselves, and it's a shady business. And you've probably had
very shady.
Your share of.
Let me tell you, the industry will treat you and make you feel like you're the sweetest and the biggest and the grandest thing, okay? But when they find the next best thing, they spit you out like a piece of bad meat, okay? They suck you up like candy, real sweet, okay? And spit you out when they're done like a piece of bad meat. And you have to be able to survive after. It's the after part that you have to be able to survive. I fully understand in being in this industry as a female, I fully understand why artists turn to alcohol or drugs or whatever, whatever vices, because when they're with you, it's like feeding you. It's like a drug, feeding you. And then when the next best person comes, because it happens, the next person comes along, it's like, who, what? they put you in a corner. You know, nobody puts baby in a corner, but but they put you in the corner. And it's after all of that glam and all of that, you have to either be able to say, okay, I'm going to take my time in this industry, okay, or you're going to miss it, you know, because if you have to be in the camera all the time, and you have to be in public all the time, and you have to be on all the time, there's no work-life quality there. Okay. Yes, I'll let everybody know. During this pandemic, I went back to work.
Mm-hmm.
I went back to doing what I did, what I said I was going to do as a child. Okay. When things are not steady for me, I go back to work. Okay. I don't have a problem doing that, you know? And when things start happening for me, my jobs, any job that I've ever had is 100% in my corner, you know? So it's like, you have to be able to function afterwards, you know, and have a work-life balance. You know, you have to have I tell you this, I have 3 people. I'm 3 people. Okay. I'm me, her, and she. Okay. Me is, I'm home. I'm in my surroundings. I'm me. Okay. The only thing different between me now and me just being it is the makeup. Okay. Because I don't do this. I don't do this every day. No. This is because I'm on here. And then there's her, who you see now. Eyelashes, makeup, interview time, right? And then there's she, who's on the stage. Okay. When she comes off the stage, she goes back to her for interview purposes. But when I get in the car and go home, I'm me. Okay. And it makes me feel good being that way. I can balance my life.
Well, I heard from someone recently, you know, a good friend of mine is in a Broadway show. And she said to me, and I was talking to someone else as well, and they were saying in entertainment, in all career, like you need those real friends, you need that real family, because the industry and record sales and concerts are not going to tuck you in at night. You need something to really have at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You don't need yes people around you all the time, because people yes you to death when you're in that element. They're afraid to say no. They're afraid to say this doesn't work. They just yes you to death. And I have my own company. So, you know, I need people in my corner that's going to say, that doesn't sound like a good idea. No, I don't think so. I'm good with that. You know, I like honesty. Like honesty, and I can deal with that, because no one person is perfect or 100% correct all the time. Okay. So you don't need yes people in your immediate circle. You need truthful people.
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more. Well, you're a survivor. You're out here, and you're in the street. You're on those stages. You're putting out music, and that takes a lot of guts and perseverance and courage.
And then I go back to work.
But then that's what I was gonna say. But then you're not afraid to do the work. Not afraid to do the work.
Nope, not at all. I have fun. It's because most of the time I don't have to work. I choose to. You know, I choose to. I'm sitting in the house and doing what?
Yes.
And doing what? Getting fat, right? Sitting in the house and finding all kinds of food to eat that I don't need to be eating, or eating. And just getting fat. So when I go back to work, I lose weight because, you know, I don't eat that much. You know, I'm on a regimen. I'm on a roll, you know, and so food is not a priority as far as me. You know, I'm a workaholic type person, and I just really, I'm all into what my responsibilities are, which is like HR. So it's you know, and I'm a people person. So that's my juice.
Yes, I love that you're not afraid to do the work. You will find that job, make that. You know, my father used to say, "I'd rather make money than spend money," because that's the 2 options.
Oh yeah. You know, like okay, yeah, going out and spending money versus going out and making money.
I'd rather make some.
Yeah, I'd rather make it.
That was so inspiring, Rob. Really, truly, it's a reminder for all of us to put in that work and get our hands dirty sometimes.
Yeah.
What can we expect when we come? What are you going to throw at us? What is a Robin S show like?
Well, I can't really tell my secrets. Okay.
No, I hear you.
But as always, it's a lot of fun. One-on-one conversations I'm really, really good at. Group conversations I'm not too good at. I'm still working at it. On that stage, that's my home. I'm really good at that. So just expect a lot of energy, a lot of conversation, because I believe in talking to my audience and making them feel very comfortable. Like, this is not just my show. You paid to see me, so this is our show. This is what we're doing for each other. We're making each other feel good. Dance music is not supposed to, and I tell people all the time, it is not supposed to make you feel down and depressed. It's supposed to take you away from all of that, even if it's just for 30 minutes, 40 minutes. It's just supposed to take care of you. You're supposed to be able to lay out flat on that wave and just ride the wave for 30, 40 minutes. So expect a good time.
Well, it is a killer lineup here at NJPAC in Newark this month, coming up in March, led by you and a great group of artists. And I know that we will be listening and rocking out to your music and dancing, twirling and spinning and doing it up, especially 30.
I will be doing it up.
You are so gorgeous, by the way. Can I just say you are so beautiful.
Thank you. I think most of it is the makeup, though.
No, it is not. No, it is not.
Most of it's the makeup.
And your spirit makes you even more stunning. You just ooze such a beautiful presence about you. So you really graced us today with some beautiful lessons. And after gracing us with all these nuggets. I like that.
They're nuggets.
We're taking all the nuggets. We are taking them all from you today. And I'm coming. I'm coming in March. I'll be
look forward to seeing you there.
I'm ready. Thank you, Robin S. You can stream her music. You can find her music, download her albums on iTunes, and show some love.
Wait a minute, I have something else to say.
Please, please.
I have a new single coming out with James Worthy. It's called "Doing It My Way." It'll be out for sale on the 25th. So I'm doing it. And then Show Me Love just came out again. It just came out the beginning of the month. With Real People, the mixture from Real People. And I'm don't count me out.
No, I'm here for it. So the new single, and when we'll put the link right here, and you can download it right now. It comes out on the 25th. The 25th. So don't worry, we are going to post it and share it, and we will be listening to it. And Robin, I'm so excited to see.
There's a message in that bottle.
Okay.
Now
you really have my attention. Now
There's
I want to know
in that bottle.
What nugget is in this bottle.
You have to listen to it.
How'd the song come about?
Well, James Worthy is a producer. He's a brilliant producer, and we've written a multitude of songs together. I go into his studio, he plays a track for me, and I sit down and I write, and that's how we go. I'll sit down and I'll hear a chorus and I'll like, okay, let me record this chorus. And then I'll come back out and I'll listen to it and listen to it and listen to it. And I'll do all the layers of the chorus and everything that needs to be done. And I'll listen to it. Okay, now let me hear what the instruments are saying. And then I'll start writing to it. And then I'll go back in and I'll record. Start writing some more and I'll go back in and record. That's how ours is very organic. It's very organic. And he is a brilliant person. He just has so much patience with me because I just really, that's how I write more so than anything. It's just, I have to listen. I have to hear what it's saying to me. And I pray, and say, God, is this something? Is there a message here? Is there a message that that you need to download into my spirit so that I could reveal to other people? So it's really important how it's done.
Well, I am sure that firstly that you wrote it. We now you really have our attention because we want to know what's on your heart and on your mind. And while you were talking about that and talking about the recording process, I thought, man, you must be a beast in the booth. You must get in the booth and
lay. You know something? But you know, I don't think so. I think I have a harder time in the booth than I do on the stage. You know, I'm so used to singing in front of people. Like I have to. It's just such stuff that I have to do. The lights have to be dim and there can't be any air on. It has to be hotter than hot in there. And I just, you know, there's a process, I guess, that I have to go through mentally in order to feel like I'm singing to people. And I have to close my eyes and imagine myself being on the stage and really getting my heart and soul into it, because it's so cold and so empty in a sound booth, and it's just nobody there.
The energy.
So
yes,
yeah.
Well, you would never know because your vocals are pristine and your voice is beautiful.
Thank you so much. Now I do have bad days. Now let me put that out there. Okay, I'm human. I do have bad days. I have asthma. I have sinus infections, just like everybody else. I have bad days, but I pray that I keep having more good days and better days than the bad.
Well, I hope that, like I said before, the better days, the best is truly yet to come. We'll be listening to your new music. We'll be waiting for more music.
Absolutely.
Follow Robin on Instagram, on Facebook, on all of the social media. So you stay at her website, which will be displayed right here, and we will have to be following and keeping up with you when she's live. You better make sure you check.
Absolutely. Yes, and then if they need to, you know, if someone needs to book the show, it's bookings at IamRobinS.com.
And you have a great team of people around you. The people that work with you are so sweet, are so supportive, so kind, and that's a reflection of you because it comes from the top.
Yep, it does. It trickles down.
So if you want someone to come and turn your party out or turn your show out, she's here. There she is.
I'm right here. I'm here. It's me. This is me. You'll get she. This is me.
Right. This is me. Then she'll come to your event and she will show up. And now.
Yeah. It's been a pleasure. It has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Please,
I appreciate you.
You are a pleasure, and we will be. Jersey is rocking with Robin S. I know the country and the world definitely is. So when your ears are ringing, we're dancing to you somewhere.
Hey!
I'm ready. Thank you so much.
When you hear it, you know, you hear that. So baby, if you want me, you've got to show me love. You know, you just. Or was that the right key? Let me see.
Yeah, and you sing it in the right key.
Do I really? I thought that was too low. Let me see. Let me see. So baby, if you want me, you've got to show me love. Oh.
You better sing it in the original key like you recorded it yesterday. That's it. Everyone watching, you better pay a premium for that, because that was live, unplugged right now, right here in the morning, right smack in the morning. Original.
I do my best singing in the morning.
Original key right there. You're a pleasure. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. Mwah. Thank you.
Back at you. I love you also. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone who's ever supported me, who continues to support me, and know that your support and your love does not go in vain. I appreciate it, and it warms my heart.
Right back at you.
I love you.
I love you. Thank you so much.
Well, I was in Vegas living for that. Listen, I've kept you all here forever. Thank you for the people who have hung tight with me for 2 hours of show tonight. I told you it was going to be long. We will never have a show that never say never. Yes, Robin S. Find her music, stream it, follow it. You definitely, we all love Show Me Love. And I will send you
and post videos of this weekend. I will be there on Saturday to see Brenda and Robin. And Tuesday, I guess I'm going to see Melissa Errico. I don't know. Something is happening on Tuesday. See, I'm in love too. She's a star. My pleasure, Jeb. Thanks for hanging with me. I hope the pup's okay. I hope thank you very much. And Margaret, Miss Margaret, I'll see you tomorrow. Asma, I'll see you tomorrow. My students are still here. Everybody, thank you for joining. Like I said, please make sure that you watch us next week as we have Isaac Mizrahi and Griffin Matthews. I'm so excited about it. It's going to be super fun. They'll be here live and in person, so get ready. And make sure you check out robertbannon.com. Grab yourself a ticket virtually or in person if you want to come see me on April 16th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Much love and light to you all. I'm so grateful for you all being here and spending your night with me. Never lost on me. Always appreciated. God bless you. Love you all for being here, and I'll see you again next week. Bye, everybody.